welcome back to Blow the Whistle. And as always, with you here today, I am Tyler Buterbaugh. And from behind the scenes, we have Andrew Valentin out here today. David Dykstra had to rain check for today. No pun intended, because it actually is raining outside. So
quite literally.
Yeah, quite literally raining. So, Andrew, how you doing today, my guy?
You know what? It's been an interesting day, that's for sure. But I got to say, I always say how tired I am and stuff. But today I actually came in with quite a bit of energy. Might have been the 2 Cokes that I downed today. I don't know. That's Coca-Cola for
Coca-Cola, ladies and gentlemen.
There, so don't get your mind.
We're clean people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the same way. I had a full cup of coffee from Dunkin' Donuts, so
yeah.
Hoping this will kind of get me perky and up and ready today. But I mean, we got so much to talk about. This is a full basketball show. We're doing first 2 segments all on college basketball. I literally just said basketball. College basketball. We're going to recap the Elite Eight. We're going to preview the Final Four. And then we're going to talk NBA. And then we're going to finish it off with the greatest segment of them all. You're Killing Me, Smalls. And you guys can... Woohoo is right. And if you guys have it, You're Killing Me, Smalls, please tweet us at him or message him on our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at BlowTWhistle1. That's BLOWTWHISTLE1. Or you can send them in on an email in our blowtwhistlerradio@gmail.com. I had to take it took me a minute to remember it.
It's all good. I mean, it's a lot of social media there, folks.
It's a lot. We're busy people. Okay?
Absolutely.
We're busy. All right, but without further ado, Andrew, are you ready to get this thing going?
Let's do this.
All right. Well, real quick, I want to start off with a stupid dad joke. Is that okay? All right. I figured this one out. Here we go.
Hold on to your butts.
All right. You guys ready for this one? You ready for this one? All right. Andrew, what material is Mario's overalls?
What material is Mario's overalls?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Denim.
All right, show's over, folks. We're done. This is over. Goodbye. Wow, really,
right.
Tyler?
All right, I got that out of the way.
You got to talk to your man here.
She was annoyed when I told her that one this morning. She just came off from a 12-hour overnight shift at work, and I'm like, hey.
I don't have time for you. I'm going to bed. I'll hit you later.
I had to tell someone else.
Only
that
joking,
might appreciate.
folks.
Only joking. She does not abuse me.
No.
We are in a good relationship.
Yes. Although she did beat your butt in brackets.
She did. She, in fact, did. It was for sure. I don't know if I think we mentioned it on the. Yeah, we did mention it on the TV side. So yeah, me and my girlfriend Emily did a competition on who can have the best bracket. Her what's the word I want to think of? Her strategy to it was on which mascot can kick the other mascot's ass. And I was like, you know what, go ahead. And it all started going downhill for me when she picked New Mexico State to beat UConn because New Mexico State has swords and UConn is a dog. Yeah, so there goes my bracket.
Yep.
So congrats to her. And but yeah, so now we maneuvered to college basketball. Let's recap this Elite Eight, my friend.
Let's do it.
So let's start off with Duke. Number 2 Duke defeats number 4 Arkansas. I mean, I don't know about you. I mean, originally I didn't even have this pick.
Yeah.
I didn't even have Duke. I honestly didn't have Duke. I had Texas Tech beating Duke.
Yeah.
But I mean, not super surprised. Despite Arkansas was very impressive throughout the whole tournament. Duke just really turned on the Jets, and they are a whole new team now.
Yeah, Duke really kind of surprised a lot of people this year, I think, because they certainly seemed very lackadaisical in the beginning, right? They were beating teams, but they weren't beating them the way they have in the past. This is a very good roster. And it seems like after losing to UNC at the end in the ACC tournament, Duke all of a sudden kind of gets that second wind, and they've really used whatever Coach K Fire they've put behind themselves, and they've really kind of taken that momentum. I definitely had Arkansas. I didn't have Duke getting this far. I had Texas Tech in some of my brackets. I did have Duke in a couple, but I still had Arkansas beating them just because I felt like Arkansas was the more athletic team. But, I mean, look, Paolo Banchero, 16 points, 7 rebounds, three assists, a steal, a block. I mean, he can do everything, right?
He literally did it all.
He is. I mean, he is a clear-cut top player going into college right now. And he's probably going to be one of the top 2 picks in the draft because he's just amazing, right? And You add in a guy like A.J. Griffin, who's a really nice complimentary piece. I mean, they were solid across the board. So when when Duke won that game and was able to beat Arkansas as relatively handily as they did, I wasn't too shocked by it, to be quite honest. I thought it was a really impressive win. I thought that's exactly what we want to see from Coach K's teams.
Right.
As a UNC fan, I'm not happy about it, but obviously, when you look at this Duke team, you know they're on a different level than they were before the season started. In the middle of the season, they're on a total. They are completely connected. So and kudos to them, but I really thought Arkansas was going to be able to pull it off.
And as I said earlier, that David took a rain check. He got a second to show up. The little Duke fan he is. Hi, David.
You darn right, Duke showed up.
That's all he wanted.
Hey, I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but it is Coach K's last season.
It is.
It is.
It is.
The last dance.
Yes, it is. And
It's the last something. I don't know if you call it the last dance.
No, you can't call it.
I don't know if you've noticed, like, when Coach K walks in, he's got a little gimp in his giddy up.
The last gimp?
I wouldn't go that. I know. I'm not going to say that. That's not nice, but yeah.
It's graduation day. How about that?
Yeah.
There we
Stick
go.
with the college theme. It's graduation day.
Yeah, it's graduation.
Or graduation week.
Coach
Whatever.
K.
Something like that.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? I think that the get up for this Duke team is just the fact that this is Coach K's last season.
Absolutely.
And I think that just really turned them up and defeated this very athletic Arkansas team. I mean, like I said to you, like you said too, I had Arkansas, I had Tech beating Duke, and then I ended up having Tech beating Arkansas. But I mean, even in that Texas Tech game, they showed up in the they were in it the whole time, but damn, they really turned it up in the last couple minutes of that game, which is ridiculous.
And that's the big thing about this team, right? They've been finding ways to win. They've been digging deep down, and they've also been relying on like Bonchero and all these other top guys that they've recruited to be the dudes to step up, and that's very important to them, right? It's having that star player on your roster that you're like, when the game's on the line, who's taking the last shot? You know who's taking the last shot with this one. You know who's getting the big buckets. And with this Duke team, I mean, it's kind of centered down to one guy, unlike past ones where it's like you've got 2, 3 maybe that you can work with. But this team's resiliency is right there. And for Coach K's last season to come down like this, it's really impressive.
Absolutely. And going on to the other North Carolina team that the better one.
Just kidding. I know people are going to start yelling at me all kinds of stuff. So
the North Carolina Tar Heels ended St. Peter's historic run.
Yeah.
Defeating them 69-49. First off, I got to give a huge congrats to St. Peter's. I mean,
absolutely.
First time ever a 15th seed ever made it to the Elite Eight.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that was just huge. I mean, they sold me making it after the first round.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, no, beating Kentucky in the first round. And then after beating Purdue, I'm like, oh my God, this team's legit.
Yeah.
But North Carolina didn't keep it close with them.
No.
As you can notice. No. I mean, in that first half, it was 38-19. At that point, I already knew it was over.
Right.
But I mean, outstanding run for St. Peter's. Your North Carolina Tar Heels, they're another team that's been, I mean, they're now number 8 seed sitting here in the Final Four.
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of people, I mean, even you yourself probably wasn't expecting them to make it this far as a run as well.
I had no belief.
I
picked UCLA over them, and UCLA had the game at hand at one point, but UNC found a way to kind of close it out. And that's really because one of their top guys being Manic, who is a transfer from Oklahoma. I mean, we talked about this on the radio.
Right.
He was at Oklahoma. He kind of played here and there sparingly. But since he's come to UNC, not only has the beard grown, but also his skill set as well. I mean, he is an incredible player, an inconsistent shot when he was at Oklahoma. Now he's found, I mean, he went 4 for 6 in this game from 3. He was a huge contributor. I mean, Bacat was the guy that they've kind of relied on a lot to be the star guy, right? He's really stepped it up. Love came in big in this one as well. Another guy they've really kind of laid heavily on. I mean, this team, at the beginning of the season, had you told me that they were going to be in the bottom 25, I honestly would have said, of course, that's going to happen. This doesn't feel like the right team. Roy Williams retired. It's Hubert Davis's first year. How are they going to be that good? And then going into the tournament, I had no faith, really. I had some brackets where I had them getting knocked out in the first round.
I had them out.
Marquette.
I had them out. In one of my brackets, I had Marquette beating them.
Yeah.
And then in my other bracket, I had them winning. But then I had them losing to Baylor.
Absolutely.
Which, I mean, they were up at like 20-some-odd points against Baylor.
Yeah.
Granted, they brought it close. They brought it within close, and then they forced overtime.
Right.
But, I mean, just to be up against Baylor by 20.
They laid down the wood on that team. I mean, that's supposed to be one of the best defensive teams in the league, and you drop 90-plus points on them. That's a statement. That's a statement from this team. And look, again, like you said, congrats to St. Peter's. Like, it's a great run. It's clearly one of those runs that we're going to remember, like a George Mason and things like that. It's a huge thing that, again, proves like anything can happen in this tournament. Anybody can get hot at the right time.
Exactly.
But unfortunately, UNC was the team. I mean, our guy David said on the radio, UNC was the team that played them perfectly, right?
Yeah.
They put the size out there. They got in their faces. They took away their airspace. No more jump shots. No more three-pointers. None of that stuff. Make it hard for them to attack the basket. And UNC really used their size to overpower them. They took advantage of the opportunities on defense, and at the end of the day, they came across as the better team, as they should have. Unfortunately, to say that, as they should have.
And like what we were just saying is like forcing them to no more of the, giving up these jump shots. They only shot 30% from the field.
Exactly.
And then only 25 from beyond the arc. So it's like they just totally shut them down. It was
and that's what you need.
Not gonna lie, I was a little sad because after I knew my brackets were gone, I was like, screw it, I'm going St. Peter's all the way.
You want to. We all listen. I say this before. Everybody loves an underdog. Absolutely, we all love an underdog.
Right.
But deep down inside, I think we all also know we always want to play the favorites because we always love a winner.
Exactly.
That's the duality of our. I know that's a big word for folks, but it is the duality of us as people. It's hard to contemplate. Well, we love the underdog, right? But you also love a guy that wins too. So
right. Exactly.
That's the thing.
And then a couple more other games.
Yep.
Number 2 Nova defeats number 5 Houston 50-44. This is now Villanova's 7th Final Four appearance. This game, I mean, it was ugly.
It was ugly. I think this is the first tournament game that I think this was what they said. This is the first tournament game where both teams shot below 30%. I think it was. I mean, both of them. I mean, Houston was 29.8 from the field. Villanova was 28.8. Houston was only 5% from the three. This was bad, folks. This was not good at all.
Basically, this one really came down to free throws.
Yeah.
And Nova's, I believe, they're the top team in free throw percentage all season. They were like 80-something%. They shot out all of their free throws, 100%.
15.
And Houston really struggled. 64.3% from free throw. So it really came down to that.
Yeah, and they were getting to the line too. Like Houston was getting to the line, but they weren't finishing the way they needed to. Like that ball was, I mean, first off too, there was also a lot of fouls in this game.
Yeah.
Too. A lot of calls, a lot of stuff like that. So, but on both sides of this was a physical game. Both teams were trying to outmuscle each other. I mean, rather Houston was trying to outmuscle Villanova. I don't think Villanova wanted to be pushed around.
No.
But at the end of the day, when it came down to, I mean, where Houston, I think, has playmakers, they were lacking from some of their guys that have clearly stepped up to be big-time contributors. Moore, obviously, 15 points. That's what he does. He's one of their best players. But they needed other guys to step up with them because you could see, like, Samuels has 16. He leads the team in rebounds and points. He's their best player. And then you've got Daniels, who comes off the bench and plays big minutes, too. I mean, they only ran 7 guys deep because Villanova knows their team. They know what they have to do. They know that group. So it only made sense that Villanova at some point was going to capture the game at the right moment. And that's what they did. They got the lead, they held the lead, and they just shut down Houston for the rest of the game. So, but this was so sloppy. This was really sloppy.
It was definitely my least entertained game.
Yeah.
Out of the whole
moments,
weekend.
but it was very, very old school basketball, if you will.
Absolutely. And I mean, and this one you could also say congrats to Houston because they were, to me, one of the top sleeper teams. And I think, I can't remember if I had them going this far. I didn't. I had them losing to Arizona.
I had in one bracket, I think I had them going into the Final Four as just like...
Really?
It's just, just pulling the upset of the upsets on them. But on all of the other ones, I was like, well, Villanova's going to take this. Like, I just felt like that was going to happen. Never felt like Arizona was ever going to make it.
No. And last game, number 1 Kansas, absolutely Will Smith, number 10 Miami, 76-50. This game, I mean, you can say Miami Will Smith them in the second half.
Yeah.
Because Miami was turning it up in the first half.
Absolutely.
And I was talking with my dad about this, and I was just like, I picked Miami. He's like, it was probably a good pick. And then all of a sudden, Kansas just coming out of nowhere. I'm like, well, crap. I'm like, that sucks for me. Kansas scored 47 points in the second half.
Yeah.
Miami was only able to drop 15 in the second half. I mean... Again, another team that had a fantastic run, a number 10 seed, not expected to make it this far. I mean, the game before, it was number 10 Miami against number 10 Iowa State. Yeah. 2 teams that no one expected to show up. And Miami's had an impressive run all year. And the fact they were able to handle Kansas in this first half, well, they led them 35-29.
Yeah.
But... Lord almighty, they did not. They didn't keep that. I mean, Kansas totally switched up their whole game plan in that second half.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you could see it too, right? They completely were like, take away Miami's speed, right? Don't let them get to the basket. Don't let them try quick moves on you. Slow down their pace. And that's what Kansas did. They slowed down their pace, and then they went on the attack. I mean, look, this kid, if you don't know Ochai Agbaji, if you don't know who this guard is, man, he is clear and above one of the top players right now in college basketball. I think there's an argument to be made. He might even be the Naismith player. He should have been like Naismith player of the year. I don't think he's going to get it, but I think there's an argument to be made that that the award should be on it, have his name on it. I mean, he was incredible in this game. He led in scoring. He was in the top for rebounds. He was out there for assists. He had 4 steals. I mean, this guy was everywhere doing everything.
He did, yeah. You look at his numbers. It's just he was all over the place.
Yeah.
Did everything in his power.
Yeah.
And just absolutely took over.
And I mean, and
he's an animal.
And this is what Bill Self does really well. I mean, me and David, and I think even you, we're not big fans of Bill Self.
I'm not big on him.
Yeah, it's not.
Don't hate the guy.
David definitely has a lot more burn towards him than I do.
Yeah, he don't like me.
He doesn't like Bill Self. No.
Yeah.
But the thing with Bill Self, love him or hate him, you got to say he does know how to game plan when it comes to college basketball. You know, I mean, I would make the argument. I think he does know how to coach. But I do feel like he is kind of Urban Meyer, where it's like directing guys to do certain things and stuff, and then he just kind of sits back and just manages everything. But clearly he's a really good manager. I mean, he runs with a deep roster of guys, and they get the job done. I mean, he trusts in his bench to play good defense, make the right calls, make the right shots, get the right assists, and then he just floats on his starters to really be the main guys. So you can't count out Kansas ever with this, and I hate that so much, but
it's just because of the whole thing that
they're a blue blood. They're a blue blood, and I mean, look, Duke, North Carolina, you understand those. Villanova, I would say there's an argument to be made that they're going into that blue blood kind of atmosphere now with the way they've been absolutely getting into the tournament and dominating some teams.
Yeah, I mean, but these are all teams that have been phenomenal teams for years and years and years.
Absolutely. But there's something, I mean, look, people, I even am one who look at Duke and I'm like, oh, the elitist school and stuff, right? And UNC, like, I can see where some people are like, they think they're a little bit upper crust, Chapel Hill, all that kind of stuff. And Villanova, it's in Philly, I get it, it's in the big city kind of stuff. Kansas is like, oh, we're out in the middle of nowhere. Right, but your whole claim is, oh, well, we invented basketball. And it's like, right, you invented basketball, and yet somehow you still managed to lose quite often. So, I mean, for a team that invented basketball, I don't know, they don't seem to be always very good.
You're not playing the sport all that great. But I mean, this year's team is something different.
Oh, absolutely. And again, like you said, props to Miami. But this Kansas team, they're on a different level. They've got a leader out there that is unstoppable, I think, at this point. I think he's like on that Mario Chalmers-esque type of thing where it's like, hey, against Memphis in that national title, for those that don't remember, RIP to Derrick Rose's college career. If that shot doesn't go in, Derrick Rose is a national champion, but Mario Chalmers just had to sink that shot.
Oh, my God.
Had to sink that shot. But honestly, Agbaji's one of those guys where last seconds on the clock, I trust him with the ball every time. I'm
excited to see how he's going to play against Nova.
Yeah.
Which, real quick, before we break down the Final Four, which team over the Elite Eight weekend impressed you the most?
Oh, man. You know what? Biased, yes. But I'm going to say UNC, honestly.
Understand. Respectable.
It's just the fact that they struggled so much in the regular season. They found a way to win in the tournament. And now, in the ACC tournament, and now getting into the NCAA tournament, the fact that it works for them, and guys are showing up when they've needed them to, that's huge for this team. So I've been really impressed with the way that they've played. If I can take the bias out of it, favorite team, if you will, I will also take Villanova on it because they're playing good team basketball, like to the point where even that Houston game, as ugly as that is, they're finding a way to get it done. They're finding a way to win. They are dream killers, if you will. They are king slayers in their own way, to the point where now it's like, well, they're almost like one of the kings now that you're going to have to slay at this point.
Right. I hate bringing this up as the UNC fan, just that last second shot a few years back when they played, Nova beat UNC in the national championship. Sorry.
I was so torn on that because I know Jalen Brunson. I know him, and I've had conversation with him. And, of course, he's in the national title playing my favorite team. And I'm like, just so you know, good luck, but I also really hope that you lose. Like, and clearly I totally jinxed myself on that, so I apologize, UNC fans. I know he wasn't the one that took the last shot, but still, the fact that Jenkins hit that shot was incredible.
It was
heartbreaking, but incredible at the same time.
For me, I would also say North Carolina, but I'm also just exactly what you said. Like an impressive run. They shouldn't even they weren't even considered to be here.
Yeah.
And what they're doing, and then to finally put the end to the Peacocks' fabulous run. But I'm gonna go with Kansas. Impressed me the most. Only showed that in that first half, but them to make adjustments. Exactly. And Agbaji.
Yeah, Agbaji.
Agbaji to just really turn it up and just lead that team to just not even make this game close, like as it was. That was just big time adjustments for big time moments for a team that could have been a huge upset. In the Elite Eight. So I would have to say Kansas impressed me the most. But now, ladies and gentlemen, the Final Four is set, and the games start this week, and we're going to break them all down for you guys right here on Blow the Whistle.
Man, I'm so hungry. I need somewhere to eat fast. I have no idea where to go.
Psst. Hola, me llamo El Taco de Taco. You know where to go for the amazing taste that'll have you craving more? Taco Bell.
All right, can I get 20 tacos, please?
You got it.
Thanks, Taco.
De nada.
Good. That's it. Eat the tacos.
Taco Bell. Live más.
Welcome back to Blow the Valentin, and it is time. It's time to. Has been an absolute crazy season. Let's start off here. I can't because I want to save. With seventh Final Four appearance. I don't know off the top of my head on Kansas, but I know it's been quite a amount. I'll look it up. But just real quick, Andrew, who do you like the most in this matchup?
All right. Well, I'll give the spread and the over under for everybody out there too, if you want.
Oh yes,
it. So,
I forgot to put that in there.
I got us. Trust me, I got you on that, folks. Don't you ever worry about that. So, I mean, Kansas right now favored by 4.5 points. The over under is at 133 right now on the dot. If I'm picking a team, we said this on the radio, I really want to take Nova because I feel like they can certainly come with the upset on this because of the way that team has played with resiliency and stuff. But the issue is that the way, like you said before we left, the way that Kansas was able to come back and dominate on Miami the way it was, it just leads me down the path of like, if you pick against them, you're gonna regret it.
Right.
So I'm going to take Kansas on this. I don't know. I can't remember what I picked. If somebody remember, B-Mac, if you're there watching us, let me know if you remember what I picked for the radio show. If you saw the radio show, just, I don't know. But otherwise, I think I said like by 1.5 or 2 points or something like that.
I remember you said it was close.
I definitely said it was going to be close. I feel like Kansas is going to I don't think Bill Self ever underestimates anybody, especially Villanova. I don't think he's going to underestimate them at all. But what I think they might do is they might come out, not pressure them as much. Villanova gets off some big shots. Kansas has a lead, and then maybe they they start to stretch away a little bit, and then Villanova finds a way to make it close. So I'm going to say probably a 2-point difference on this one.
Okay.
Over under is tough, man. And 133 is nice. I like that, but
I know that.
I think I'm gonna go with the under on this one. I think I'm feeling the under on this.
Okay.
Just because I feel like Villanova's defense might be able to shut down Kansas to some degree. They're gonna put a lot of pressure on Agbaji to try and win the game for Kansas.
Absolutely, yeah.
Which the Jayhawks then have to find somebody else. I mean, McCormick stepped up for them in this last game, but they're gonna need to find somebody else to also play along with them because Colin Gillespie right now and Jermaine Samuels are their kind of two top guys at Villanova. So they have to play two different guys, and you got to find a way to stop them both. One crashes really well on the inside. The other guy takes really good jump shots. So I'm going to say a 2-point difference for Kansas, though, and I will say it's the under for me.
Okay. So I did find it out.
Okay.
This would be Kansas's 17th time in school history making it to the Final Four, ranking as the 5th most college basketball in history.
Yeah.
This will be Bill Self's 5th time taking the Jayhawks to the Final Four in his 19 seasons with the team. So, I mean,
credit to him. I mean,
absolutely.
It's really relatively in the short period of time that he's been coaching there. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, well, I know it's not short, but in comparison to some of these other guys like Krzyzewski and all these other great coaches who've come before him, that's impressive.
Oh yeah, he's in the same list as those guys.
David still thinks you're a jerk, but props.
Absolutely, you give credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
But in this particular game, I'm also going to go with Kansas.
Okay.
I love Villanova. They played a hell of a season, hell of a tournament run. But I mean, like I said, of which team impressed me the most was Kansas. I mean, I haven't really seen. I haven't been watching like a lot of Kansas games except like during the tournament. But that one against Miami really impressed me because I really liked Miami being like that sleeper 10 seed and whooping these teams that they shouldn't have even contended for. Mm-hmm. And for Kansas to just totally just derail that in that game in that second half and totally just blow them out of the water. Villanova, great team. Like exactly kind of like you said, like despite that was a ugly game, their matches before then were fantastic.
Absolutely.
But they play what they do what they need to do in order to win.
Absolutely.
This is going to be a close game against Kansas. I mean, you got Nova playing how they're playing, Kansas on a hot run.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take the under as well.
Okay.
I might. So the spread is 4.5.
Yep.
I might.
This is tough. I know.
I might take that 4.5.
Okay.
Because how I'm going to project it is that Kansas will be up. Nova's going to have to foul, and then it's going to be free throws that's going to gain them at 4.5. So I'm gonna go with Kansas in this one.
Okay. I mean, this is also going to be a good coaching matchup too, because Bill Self versus Jay Wright. I mean, it's as somebody I saw put, it's the intellectual of Bill Self versus the kind of more tough, gritty guy in Jay Wright kind of feel. So you're going to have two guys who really are going to try different things, and it's a good back and forth, I think, between these two teams.
Absolutely. It's going to be a hell of a matchup. This is probably one of the most exciting Final Fours that we're going to be seeing.
Oh, yeah.
This next matchup
can't get any better than this.
It can't get any better than this. Number 2 Duke versus friendly rival, number 8 UNC.
I don't know about friendly. But.
Not so friendly. First time ever they have met in the Final Four. Ever, ladies and gentlemen. To have this rivalry, and as you and David were explaining in the radio show yesterday, it is equivalent to all of you Chicago fans. It's equivalent. The rivalry is equivalent to Bears and Packers. It could even go greater than this.
Yeah.
So, Andrew, I'm going to ask you first for being a UNC fan.
You want to ask David, too? I mean, he left.
I wish. I mean, I know he popped his head in for a second. I was going to ask. I want to get him on.
Yeah.
TJ, if you do see David, just kind of, I mean, if he's just poking his head around, just see if we can get him in here real quick.
So, I want Duke to get their fair shot as well.
Absolutely. So, Andrew, who do you got in this wacky, fantastic, most exciting matchup in the Final Four, in my opinion?
You want me to really blow people's mind and
shoot it.
No, I'm not. Of course. I mean, listen, I've been betting against UNC this whole time, and they've clearly been trying to do everything they can to try and break me to pieces at this point and prove how wrong of a fan I truly am. So I'm going to go with UNC. I think it's going to be, I think I said like a point less on the radio side. I'll give it a 1.5 for UNC. This is probably, I still say this is going to be one of those games where we go 30, 40 years down the line. You say, where were you when this game happened?
It's going to be a 30 for 30.
That's what I feel like.
I can't see why it wouldn't be.
The cultivation of either it's going to be Krzyzewski's 30 for 30, or it's going to have its own like little rivalry thing. Because like Michigan, Ohio State has like its own HBO thing that's like 50 minutes.
Right.
This kind of rivalry, I believe David said 1946 is when it came back to, correct?
You Tar Heel punks need to shut your trap holes.
Hey, I invited you on here. Show some respect.
But it was 1946.
Yeah, it's been
correct?
The earliest like rivalry game that I saw like through YouTube was like 1946.
Yeah. Wow. So so there you go. So this is going to be one of those games. I'm going to take UNC. I'm going to say 1.5 on it for UNC. I think it hits the over by far. This is going to be one of those games where it goes right down to the wire, last second shot. I fully feel that this is going to be the pinnacle that you look for in college rivalries with Krzyzewski's last year, Hubert Davis's first year. It's Paolo Banchero versus Manic. It's Bacat versus Griffin. It's all of these great factors falling into each other. I can't wait. I'm so excited for this. I can't wait for Saturday now.
Now that we got the Duke fan in here, David, please share with the wonderful people. Who do you got?
Oh, Mike Krzyzewski by 105 to 3.
I don't think that's a
North Carolina accent.
Yeah. I don't think you're anywhere close on that one.
Here's the deal. It's going to be a great game.
Yeah.
I think it's probably going to be the best game out of the two, to be quite honest, especially with the injury to Miller from Villanova, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So I can totally see this coming down to the last minute and a half, 2 minutes. If it doesn't, I'll be completely shocked. I've got Duke going on to face Kansas, I believe, is my other pick.
Yeah.
In the final game, and we'll talk about that
On Monday.
on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
And then we'll have reactions on Tuesday.
How much do you pick Duke by?
Let's say 4.
Okay, so you pick
Okay.
that's the spread. The
Yeah.
over
okay.
under.
So I'll take Duke by 5 then.
Okay. Over under 151.
Ooh. Depends on what Duke defense shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the defense that
true.
locked down Texas Tech the last 5 minutes of that game shows up, it'll go under.
Okay.
But I got a feeling this is going to be a run and gun game. I really do. People hitting open shots left and right.
Yeah.
But so I would trend towards the over.
Okay, because these two teams play at a totally another level when they play against each other.
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
There's
How we
something
talked
different
about on
this.
Monday, or yesterday, is that right? 2 days ago.
Yes,
No.
we did the radio show a day ago.
Okay.
It was yesterday.
It was
yesterday.
It was
Okay.
yesterday.
I know we usually do it Monday, but we did it on Tuesday.
That's right.
I gave you gentlemen Monday off.
Yeah.
I know. I went back to sleep. It was great.
I don't know what Andrew was doing. I don't think I saw him
I was
Monday.
up. I was like up, and I was like, "What do I do with my day now?" Like, so I did nothing.
I know. I woke up and I saw the text. I'm like, okay, I'm going back to bed.
Shocker, Butterball went back to sleep.
All right, yeah.
I got to get to this beauty sleep.
All right, guys, I'll let you get back to it.
All right, see you, David. No, like we talked about yesterday, is that when these two teams go against each other, it doesn't matter what kind of season they're having. They show out to their absolute best.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to get right here on Saturday.
Absolutely.
I am neither a North Carolina Tar Heel or a Duke Blue Devil. I was going to say Blue Duel.
Yeah.
Devil. But holy hell, I am beyond excited about this game. I'm working the Bulls game that night, but you best believe I'm having this game on instead.
I was gonna say
I'll listen
that's
to
not
it.
up in that room somewhere. I mean, I don't know.
No, the TV's still broken. My damn
you get
studio.
on that. Well, the TV's still broken for us.
Yeah, we don't have the TV.
What
working.
else is new, folks?
TVs are breaking in this era, ladies and gentlemen.
Who knew why? Who knows why?
I don't know, man.
I could use a new one.
It's the aliens.
If anybody would like to donate, just saying.
Just $5 a day sent to your below the whistle.
Could save you
can save us up to get a brand new TV, so we can not only just see our beautiful see our beautiful faces, we can see how beautiful we look on screen.
Some first world problems right there for you folks.
Just play like that. What's that animal shelter song?
Oh,
that they
don't
play?
even start with that. Keep going, please. Not UNICEF.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
All right, I'm gonna continue with this.
Yeah.
All right, so in this game, man, this is gonna be great. I mean, both teams are on a complete hot streak right now, going further than I think anyone else predicted. North Carolina, especially. Coach Krzyzewski. God,
Krzyzewski.
That's why I say Coach K.
There you go. Just
so
go with
Coach K's last season. I mean, this is the huge stage. But I gotta say, dude, I'm riding the Tar Heels. I am.
Good.
North
Picking the
Carolina
winner.
has impressed me a lot more in this tournament.
Yeah.
Like, they're doing things that no one predicted to do, and they are sitting here in the Final Four up against the Duke Blue Devils. I am picking UNC to make it to the championship. I'm going to take that 4. And I'm on the edge. I'm going to pick the under just to be safe because, I mean, I think it's going to be high scoring. I don't think it's going to get that high because I think it's just going to be overall super competitive, like strong defense on both sides of the team because of what's at stake. You know what I mean? So I'm going to pick the under of 151. Interesting thing enough, Michael Jordan, former Tar Heel, he came on. I found this out this morning. He was with Chelios, and Chelios was on the Mully and Haw show this morning at 6-7 to score. They were golfing together.
Okay.
They were talking about this game, and Chelios shared that Michael Jordan actually bet Duke to beat UNC in this game.
What?
As a Tar Heel fan, what does this say? How, like,
It says that I better get some of that money that he loses or something. I mean, come on, man. You're going against you don't believe in your team that much? Come on.
I'm a little shocked because he
listen,
shows that he bleeds the blue.
Listen. We also have to understand though, Jordan is no longer a college man. This is a pro man. This is a man that is about business.
Right.
I mean, he bought that team in Charlotte now, and he's run it pretty well. So he's gonna take the best bet possible, right? That's how he's running his business. That's how he's gonna do life. So I don't blame him for picking Duke. I can't really. He's making a good bet, I think. But when he loses, I think every Tar Heel fan should get like $100, like just $100, because I'm gonna go ahead and guess he probably put a good chunk of change.
Probably gonna put
So I would say like $100 a pop for every UNC fan. How about that?
Now let's say
Or a new pair of Jordans. How about that?
if Duke loses, Jordan loses the bet. Do you think a lot of UNC fans are gonna remake that Jordan meme in some sort of way?
What, the crying meme?
Yeah, the crying
Yes,
meme.
absolutely.
Oh,
You
imagine.
don't even, how do you
That's
just
tough.
post it by itself all of a sudden because he's just doing it again?
Yeah, he's doing this.
That's what you get for banking against your own team, man. You don't do that.
No. I'm a little shocked.
Yeah.
But, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up our college basketball talk. You heard our picks, who we got in the championship. We are not leaking out who we got winning.
Nope.
We are saving that for Monday on Radio Blow the Whistle. Now, we want to know your guys' picks. We want to know where your guys' thoughts behind each of these matchups, where each team stands. Give us your guys' picks and send them to us on our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at BlowTWhistle1, BLOWTWHISTLE1. Even send them email at blowtwhistleradio@gmail.com. We want to hear them, and we want to share them on our shows, and we can have a whole lot of conversation and maybe
Absolutely.
arguments too.
Yeah. I'll fight any of you. No, I'm just
I'll
kidding.
fight any of you. But we are continuing the basketball talk. We're going to NBA. We are going to talk playoff picture, play-in tournament, and we're going to give our predictions on MVP maybe.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to see what time we got. Stick around here next on Blow the Whistle. Are we on? Welcome back to Blow.
Please tell me we caught that. Please. Oh, that's good.
I got the live stream going on right now. Yeah. Oh, thank God, we just missed it. All right, welcome back to Blow the Whistle. I'm still here with you, Tyler Buterbaugh and Andrew Valentin, and we're continuing talking basketball.
Oh, boy.
But we're moving on to the NBA.
Yes.
We are a few games away from playoffs, Andrew.
Less than 10, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so. I got to look at the schedule. But let's go through these teams, go through the playoff picture, see who's in, who's out, and let's start off with the East.
Yep.
So right now, let's go through the standings. We got Miami at 1, Milwaukee at 2, Boston 3, Philly 4, Chicago 5, and Toronto 6.
Yeah.
As of right now, I mean, it's pretty close in that 5 and 6 spot with Chicago and Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
Both of the Chicago up by a half a game, 44 and 32. Toronto 43 and 32.
Yeah.
After that, it seems like a pretty good jump. That from 4-1, they're in for the playoffs. Do any of these teams? So let's go here real quick. First off, let's see. Do you see any of the Bulls or the Raptors missing out of the playoffs? Any of either Cleveland or Brooklyn Brooklyn's too far behind. Don't even think about that. Cleveland sneaking in. Do you think any of those teams will have to settle and play in the play-in tournament?
I mean, so real quick for the top 6 seeds, listen, Miami's kind of hitting like the speed bump in the road that they always seem to hit every time.
I mean, the biggest thing is with Jimmy Butler having an issue with
with Udonis Haslem and Spoelstra. Apparently, it's a giant fit going on there. So I think Miami's starting to reel a little bit. Milwaukee and Boston are in perfect position. Philly, I think, is starting to like have a little bit of a come down. I know they lost a really close one in their last game, but they're still at the top. The Bulls and the Raptors could potentially fall out of it. I mean, they're both playing really good basketball at this point. I mean, as far as Chicago goes, though, obviously, listen, you're dropping games that you can't afford to do anymore. You can't lose to the Knicks. You can't lose to the Kings. You can't lose to these teams when it counts. And you've got a hard schedule still to go ahead in this 5-game home stretch that you've got coming up here soon. You're going to have to take on some really good teams.
Yeah.
And if you can't beat them, you're going to maybe fall out of this and put Cleveland in a position where they can get back to that spot. So it's tough because, I mean, listen, as of right now, if you're telling me between the Bulls and the Raptors, which one of these teams I think can possibly come out of this as like the 6th seed, if any of them, I feel like the Bulls can because they have a little bit more firepower, but they're also a newer team. Toronto knows who they are. They know each other very well.
They've been together for a while.
Exactly. So their chemistry eclipses a lot of what the Bulls have in terms of like they're all just kind of being stuck together. I mean, a few of those guys know each other, right? Vooch and DeRozan know each other from their college days. They're friends.
Right.
But as far as being a pro team, it kind of feels like there might be a little bit more disconnect right now than we thought, right? Levine kind of feels like he's doing his own thing when some of these other guys are playing and doing their stuff. So it's going to be a matter of how they come together in this moment. You know, how can they fight the resiliency that's left in front of them? How can they beat these last teams?
Right.
I'll be surprised to see what they can do, but I think the Bulls are the ones that can hang on to it just by their pure talent and the way that they play.
Yes.
I think they can do it. Toronto has just been a little inconsistent, too much for my liking. But there's also the possibility, I think these two teams also can just lock up those 6 spots and have Cleveland and Brooklyn and the rest of those teams in the bottom 4 for the play-in just kind of be like, yep, we're just going to have to commit to like this spot right here. That's it. They're just going to have to be the play-in tournament team.
No, I mean, I agree with you on that. Just the rest of the teams. Miami has been a little chippy with whatever drama is going on right there. Boston, I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
They're playing lights out.
It caught me by surprise seeing them move their way up that quick. I mean, they were low.
They've
for a
kicked
while.
up the defense so much lately. They've been locked down on guys lately.
Jaylen Brown's on another level.
Yep.
Tatum is on another level. They're playing phenomenal basketball right now. And
I said it before. They played Toronto without their 2 stars, and they only lost by 3 in overtime.
Right.
That says something for you.
It says for the rest of the team. As far as that 5th and 6th seed with the Bulls,
yeah,
I agree with you. Chicago is more the talented team, but they have been falling apart ever since the start of the injuries, start of with the massive COVID issues as like all the starters got COVID.
Yeah.
Because they were having a phenomenal run. They were sitting at the number 1 spot in the East for the longest time.
Absolutely.
I think that just totally lost their momentum. They have the talent. They're still out Lonzo Ball.
Right.
But you're spot on that this is a brand new team. New guys. I mean, at first, starting out, I was like, wow, they are clicking. They clicked.
Yeah.
Super well already. And then you know
Absolutely.
what? I think that they did. I think they already just kind of clicked and they got that chemistry suited for them. But I think it's just the momentum that lost them right there. I have more trust in them sitting in that 5. They'll 6 seed at the lowest, but I think they'll be comfortable at that 5.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned about their home game stretch, they have a great record. One of the best records, actually the best record at home in the East. They're 26-10.
Yeah.
So I mean, away it's the away games that they've been struggling. It's at home where they've been killing it.
Yeah.
So I mean, that stretch, I think if they can just manage to get at least 3 out of the 5 wins in that home game stretch, that will make them sit pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely.
As far as teams making it the play-in, I mean, I believe this is the play. Like, you got Cleveland, Brooklyn, Charlotte, Atlanta.
Yep.
Those are and then Toronto could honestly, because Toronto is only a half game ahead of Cleveland.
Right.
And Cleveland has been a sneaky, surprising team. They've been up and down.
Yeah.
But I mean, Garland's been playing phenomenal basketball.
Oh, yeah.
And then you got the Twin Towers over there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one of them doesn't really play defense. We know from experience.
Yes. We know all too well.
But the Eastern Conference is a little it's up and out there. I mean, any of these teams can really take over the East. No one's clinched a spot, like a spot of where they're sitting at in the Eastern Conference, as it's so close.
Yeah.
As for the Western side, Phoenix Suns already clinched. I mean, they clinched the best league record, so they're guaranteed that number 1 spot. I mean,
Absolutely.
Memphis is sitting at number 2. They clinched a playoff berth. Phenomenal record as well, but they're still so far behind. They're 8.5. That's the craziest thing.
Yeah.
1 and 2. Memphis is 8.5 games behind. I mean, this Phoenix team is absolutely ridiculous. But I mean, the West is just so much stronger. I mean, you look at this. You got Phoenix 61-14, Memphis 53-23. They snuck their way up.
Yep.
They've been a little up and down, like between like the 4 and 5 seed, but they've snuck their way up in locking in that second spot.
Mm-hmm.
Golden State at number 3. They've had an up and down season. It seemed like it was kind of weird. It seemed like to me when Klay Thompson came back, that's when it started becoming a little up and down. I mean,
it became a lot of the disorganization seemed to be, well, how do we play with him now? Because
right.
Jordan Poole's been there all year, and they were cruising really through the regular season with him kind of playing the 2. So,
and Steph Curry, he already just kind of took in that whole like, okay, I'm gonna have to do like 80% of the work, which
right.
he's okay with because I mean, look at the flipping numbers he was putting
Absolutely.
up. Yeah, absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then you got we just said Golden State. Dallas Mavericks at 4, Utah at 5,
Mm-hmm.
Denver at 6. After you hit Golden State, that's where it's a little close. So I mean, the 3 and the 6, between 3 and the 6 seeds, it can get moved around throughout the rest of this season.
Yeah.
So I mean, in Minnesota, this is the craziest thing. Minnesota is only a couple games behind Denver and could skip the play-in tournament and move into the playoffs. So I mean, it's tight here too. I mean, out of the first 6 seeds, do you see any of these guys that are locked in, that you believe are locked in, or do you think any of them can drop behind and then hopefully have a good run in the play-in tournament?
I mean, Phoenix and Memphis right now, they've got their playoff berth. They're already locked, solid,
Those guys
barrel.
are done.
Those guys are good. Golden State concerns me a lot. Not in terms of like fear them. It's in terms of I don't know where they're at.
Right.
Because obviously Steph Curry's out. We don't know when he's going to be back. There's word that he'll be back for playoffs. He won't be back for playoffs.
Wiseman's out too, ain't he?
Wiseman's still dealing with his stuff. I mean, they're still trying to get him back on the roster and stuff, get him back in shape and everything. So, I mean, I heard somebody, I forget who it was, say that, the door for Golden State, unfortunately, it might be shutting. It might, I'm not saying it's fully closed off, but we might be looking at a Golden State team that has kind of run its course. I know that's kind of like, whoa, come on, don't say that, Drew. But it's like, look, everything comes to an end, right? A dynasty eventually does end.
Right.
And with Golden State, you had your great run, you had those great opportunities, and now I think they've kind of hit a wall. I think they've kind of hit that, you've done all you can. Your best players are getting older now. What more can you do?
And I think that started last season.
Absolutely.
They didn't even make playoffs last year, no? I don't think they did.
No, they didn't. No, because everybody was injured. Everybody was dealing with their stuff. So it's touch and go with Golden State. They could still be at an elite level. I think Memphis right now is riding a hot streak that they can carry. Luka, by the way, looks on MVP level, and he's going to carry that team. Whoever thought that Dinwiddie was going to go there, I don't know who thought like Dinwiddie was the problem in Washington. Whoever came up with that story clearly thought like, oh, well, if he goes to Dallas, he's going to screw things up there. That may be one of the best trades that could have ever happened. Because clearly Kristaps is is not made. And Washington is nowhere near any better. I mean, they're barely hanging on to a chance to be in the playing tournament in the East. They're not eliminated yet, but they probably will be soon here.
They're about 5 games away of possibly making it there.
Exactly.
So I mean,
they need a miracle at this point.
Yeah.
But Dinwiddie's been great for them. He takes the ball up the court. He plays really good defense. He hits the big shot. He's that kind of a guy they needed. Dallas needed this guy more than they needed Porzingis. And
right.
I think they can jump Golden State. I think they can firmly put themselves in a great position. I even think Utah and Denver can jump Golden State too, because look at the way that Denver's playing without Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. And they might come back still.
Yeah,
like Jokic is playing at an MVP level, and they might still come back.
That's a scary. I mean, Jokic has been basically doing it all on his own.
It's incredible.
He's doing things that a 7-foot man should not be able to do.
No,
and he's remarkable.
And I hate it because as a big man myself, who's not 7 feet tall, but as a big man myself, I wish I could do some of the things that he's able to do. But it's incredible what this West has to offer.
It has, and just since we're talking about possible play-in tournament teams, the one that so some people are very upset and surprised that they're doing as bad. Me personally, I knew this was going to happen.
Why would anybody be shocked?
Because you got the great,
because you got the king on your team, huh?
You got the big names. The Lakers are just under. They're tied with San Antonio at the 11th. Or San Antonio is at the 10. LA is at the 11th seed, 31-44. They might not even make the play-in tournament. I just want you to. I want to ask you: do you think the Lakers will just weasel their way into the play-in tournament?
No, I'm gonna be honest. I think LeBron's checked out. I think Russ had checked out well before the All-Star break. I think both of them are done with this team, and it shows. Even if they do, even with AD back, I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference.
No.
I mean, look at what happened against. If you didn't see the Dallas Maverick game, they were losing by 26 at the half. It was brutally bad. How bad
horrible.
that team was getting destroyed. And by the end of it, I mean, you could see it on Frank Vogel's face. He's like, what the hell just happened to us? This team is out of sync. They're old. They're hurt. They have no idea where chemistry is coming from. Their supposed third star in Russell Westbrook does not fit this system at all. The fact that Minnesota and the Clippers and the Pelicans and the Spurs are in here, Minnesota and Clippers makes total sense. Clippers get George Paul back. He fits like a glove. It's perfect. They come back from 25 thanks to good old Paul George. And they look like if he comes back and if Kawhi is coming back, the whole West is going to be put on notice because we've seen what those two can do. They can do some damage together. But LA opened the door for New Orleans and San Antonio to get back in this thing and be in the play-in tournament. I don't think Zion's coming back for them, and I don't think San Antonio is going to really do any damage. But the fact that you've allowed those two teams to get in there, knowing that they're in kind of transitional periods now,
right?
It shows where the Lakers are at in their lifetime now. They're no longer a top brand that no longer has relevancy to anybody else in the league this year. They're gone.
The Lakers is a great team on paper. I mean, you got LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Carmelo Anthony, Russell Westbrook.
If it was 2012, we'd all be like, yeah, this team's winning a title.
Oh, without a doubt. Like for the next 5 to 10 years.
Absolutely.
You got a whole bunch of old people on a team together. This was just to bring a whole bunch of buddies back together. This was nothing. The thing that it drives me nuts is that how, I don't know if they're doing it for show because they want to act like they care.
Right.
You guys should have known you were going to suck.
Yeah.
You guys just wanted to play with your buddies.
This is, again, where I say, like, LeBron, his inability to play with younger players is killing him because you send off Lonzo and Kuzma and Ingram because you're like, I don't want 20-something-year-olds learning the game and learning how to be a pro. I want guys who are consummate pros. Simply, I think, and I don't know the guy. Listen, I don't know the guy, but I get it. You're in your 30s. You have your kids. You go home after you go to the basketball court and you practice and stuff, right? You go to practice. You go home. You're with your family. I get it. That's your lifestyle now. But let's not forget, you were 18 at one point. You wanted to go out to the clubs and have a good time. Was it not him who broke protocol, supposedly, to go to a Drake champagne thing or something like that, or
Oh my God, I
Cristal or
forgot
whatever it
about
was.
that,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, I mean, he still goes out to places, but he's going with his friends. He's going with his buddies. He's not doing it with these other guys that are his teammates. And that's, I think, the problem. He doesn't want to connect with the young guys.
What does that show about your legacy? Like,
Exactly.
You were considered one of the greatest players to
Right.
ever play the game. And to not be willing to train the young and new upcoming
At least
stars.
work with them.
Exactly. Not work with them. Not be a little diva.
Yeah.
And be like, no, I want it my way.
Right.
I'm not going to have it this way. It's like, come on, dude.
It's just you don't want to work with the younger guys. I mean, listen, I think we all can understand this, right? We have the people that we like in our life. Like, we all kind of lose friends as we get older, and we just stick with the group that we're closest and tight knit to, right? So you don't have to like everybody, but when you've got these guys who you're supposed to go to work with, if anything, have a good working relationship with some of the people. Unless you're like in my job where everybody just yells at each other. But that's neither here nor there. It's just, you don't want to get along with the guys that are with you, the young guys. You want to be with your best friends.
That's fine.
And it's also, why does Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss just let this happen? Like, they put their foot down with the whole John Wall trade. But why did it come to that moment that you put your foot down? Why did you not say, like, hey, we're not letting you bring in any more of these dudes that are 30 and over that need an AARP card just to go get their meals delivered to their home in front of their doorstep. Like, we can't keep doing this. We need young talent.
'Cause it's King
Talon Horn
James.
Tucker cannot be your only fresh legs.
LeBron is the so uncalled head coach, GM. He does it all.
Right.
You know, it's
I do everything.
It's the king.
Make me happy or I leave. Well, you know what? Go play with your kid. See how that happens.
all right. Just real quick, because we can do whatever we want on time.
Yeah.
Quick little prediction. Let's start. MVP.
Yeah.
Who is your MVP this year?
I'm going with Jokic.
Yeah.
Clear and cut. Jokic has been playing top-notch basketball. I know, everyone's like, oh, he's not scoring a lot of points and stuff. It's like, dude, he doesn't have to score a lot of points. The fact that he's got Denver where it's at right now says to me that I think he's the MVP. The fact that he's doing everything the way it is. I'm sure it'll go to like Embiid, because Embiid's like in the top in scoring and rebounds and with what Philly's done even before James Harden. So I'm sure will be the one to win it. But if you're asking me who I believe should be the MVP, if you're asking me who I think will win the MVP, who should, or at least, I'm going to go with Jokic. I think he should be a back-to-back MVP on this one.
Okay. It's tough. I mean,
it's tough.
It's between Jokic and Embiid. I mean, I think with how Embiid's team is doing better,
Mm-hmm.
I would have to say, I mean, not much better. They're record-wise
Yeah.
only 2 games ahead, but
Right.
like standing-wise, significant.
Mhm.
I would probably have to go with Embiid. Embiid, I mean, before James Harden, like, he was dealing with the same things as Jokic was. He has really no other help, and Embiid was just totally taken over. He has bullied the Bulls like the whole season, undefeated against the Bulls this season. So I have to go with Joel Embiid. Real quick, let's go Rookie of the Year. Who do you got for Rookie of the Year?
I'm going to go with Scotty Barnes in Toronto. I
Okay.
think he's been the most impressive. I would say maybe Evan Mobley is the second
Okay.
because of what he's done with Cleveland, and he's clearly been a big part of the turnaround there. But I'm going to go with Scotty Barnes just because he looks like he's going to be one of the big all-stars for the next few years to come.
Okay. I like Scotty Barnes. I'm going to go with Evan Mobley because I've said this throughout the entire NBA season. This Cleveland team has totally put me on shock.
Yeah.
Like, you think of Cleveland like the past couple years, they have been nothing. And now that they're like actually like making some noise in this Eastern Conference, I mean, and this kid is just, he's totally taken this like with confidence and his skill. I mean, he's been fantastic. So, I mean, I have to go with Evan Mobley in this one. Defensive Player of the Year. Who do you got?
That's tough.
Tough one.
You know what? I'm going to just go out with a dark horse on this. Probably not going to get it because I'm sure Rudy Gobert will take the title. You got to get either him or Giannis is going to probably take the title, I assume. I'm going to throw Jaren Jackson Jr. into this because I think he's been huge for Memphis, and he doesn't get enough credit for the defense that he provides. He's just a 6'11", almost 7-foot dude that can play the perimeter, play down low. He leads the league in blocks right now. He's in the top for rebounds, and he's scoring points at the same time. he is a huge dynamic weapon they can use down low, and he can even hit outside from the 3 as well. But defensively, he works on every single level and can match up against small guy, big guy, medium guy, doesn't matter. He is phenomenal. I will give it to Jaren Jackson Jr. Again, I think it is going to be Rudy Gobert or Giannis Antetokounmpo, but I'm going to go with Jaren Jackson Jr.
Yeah, Jaren Jackson is. You said it. He's leading in blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a tough one.
I like his style, and I think he deserves credit. Especially
you know what?
with
I might go with him as well.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I mean, like, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets handed to Rudy Gobert.
Yeah. I mean, I get
or
it. Makes
Giannis,
sense.
either
Yeah.
one. I mean, Rudy's been dominant.
Right.
Or Giannis, either one. But I'm gonna ride with you on that dark horse. I'm gonna go with Jaren Jackson as well. I mean,
Yeah.
I liked him as always, and I didn't realize how many blocks he was averaging a game, and that's damn impressive. And if you want
Absolutely.
to think defensive player, I mean, you got to put that in perspective outside of just rebounding. I mean, rebounding's. I mean, if you're a great rebounder, that's
great.
amazing.
I mean, you need rebound.
But I mean, blocks is like more of a key thing.
Blocks, steals. I mean, and even still, just taking away, making guys miss. Like the percentage against him is ridiculous. I think he's got like a 34% field goal percentage against him, and he's got like I think it's like a 20% 3-point percentage against him.
Wow.
So I think that says a lot. Again, I know Rudy Gobert's probably got way better.
Yeah.
Because he's bigger.
Right.
But Jaren Jackson Jr., I think being more dynamic and the fact that his team is in a much stronger position, I think says a lot for him. And I think says a lot.
I think that will
for
help.
that team.
I think that can give him the edge.
Absolutely.
On that one.
So I just hope he gets recognized. That's all I ask.
And now last one, just because with time, I want to talk about Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
I'll go last. I had a pick, and I'm going to have to change it.
Okay.
But who do you got for your Coach of the Year?
Oh man, this is tough.
I know.
This is really tough because I mean, listen, I've been all over like Phoenix and the way that they've been coached and everything, but I think a lot of that goes a credit to having Chris Paul and basically having a coach on the court in Chris Paul. Obviously, he was missing for a while, and they still stepped up. And I think Devin Booker's taken over that role of being a leader now even too, so that helps. I'm going to go with Taylor Jenkins, though, for Memphis again. I think Memphis has a good shot here to get some awards. I mean, I wish Ja would be in that MVP conversation. He might be. I don't know. But I wish he was in that conversation a lot more because he is great.
Yeah.
But I think with what Taylor Jenkins has done with Memphis, the way that they've been able to go from like, they look like they're going to be good to like, oh, they're like rocking it right now. And they are super young. The fact that this is a young roster says a lot for Jenkins and his coaching style. So I think he's going to be Coach of the Year.
Okay. So it almost sounds biased, but I mean, I'll back it up.
No, yeah, by all means.
Earlier in the season, I was guaranteed on Billy Donovan.
Right.
And the reason why I say that, this Bulls team is, I mean, they're still better than what everyone predicted.
Yeah.
There was going to be. They were on fire. Like the fact that they were able to start off that hot and play and do what they were doing that no one in the world was expecting them to do.
Mm-hmm.
Showing out what DeMar DeRozan still has left in his tank, as he was good in San Antonio, but like we haven't seen this type of DeMar DeRozan in a long time, maybe like Toronto years.
Yeah.
But now, like with how the Bulls have been kind of declining a little bit, up and down, very rocky of a second half of the season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's going to have enough votes to be able to get it. I understand that because I mean you have to go with how the team's doing overall.
Yeah,
I like your Taylor Jenkins pick, but I'm going to have to go with Monty Williams.
Yeah,
on Phoenix. I mean, because everyone knew that Phoenix was going to be a damn good team this year, but they are a phenomenal team. They're already clinched best team in the whole league. They are playing absolute nutty basketball.
Yeah.
And I believe are they still out? No, Chris Paul just came back.
He did.
Yeah. How long was he out again?
Was it like almost 7 or 8 weeks or something like that? It was a good while that he was out.
And with whatever they've morphed Devin Booker to be in the past couple of years, he's going to be the next greatest player in like this era of basketball. He is playing absolute lights out. He's doing anything in his willpower and to still maintain that big ass lead that they have in the league. So
Y'all are still talking?
Hell yeah.
Oh, man, we got a lot to say.
Do you not know when it comes to basketball, we can go on and on and on?
Yeah.
Jeez.
You could come in if you like instead of walking by.
to say hi.
Conversation, or you just want to come in and
You just want to come in and just, yap.
I don't know what that was, but
It's a chihuahua. You got cats over here too. But no, I'm gonna have to go Monty Williams on for my pick of the coach of the year.
okay. I like that.
So you have heard this was a long segment. We went long in NBA. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
So you heard our predictions for the playoff, who's in, who's out, playoff tournament, play-in tournament as well. You heard our NBA award predictions as well. Give us your guys' thoughts and predictions on playoff picture, play-in tournament, awards. Give us whatever the hell. We'd like to hear from you guys. And that is, again, Blow T Whistle 1 at BLOWTWHISTLE 1 on our Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Now, we have talked enough basketball. Actually, we haven't talked enough basketball, but probably you guys just want to get cut to the chase on the greatest segment of them all. And that is You're Killing Me Smalls, where we just get to rant and rave and to just bring in the world's greatest chaos in all of talk, TV talk, radio talk, because we do it on both sides of Blow the Whistle, ladies and gentlemen. And if you have anything that has gotten you wanting to just scream and just yell it out, tweet it to us, Insta to us, Facebook it to us, on our Facebook. I just said, I'm not going to say it again. You guys know where we can find us. And that is all coming next on Blow the Whistle here on YouTube.
Hey, watch your mouth. Why? I'll just put a quarter in the swear jar. Once it's filled, we get a Coors party after work. I've been drinking Coors since my college days. The cold draft taste, the second stuff. Yeah, worth the recorder, am I right? You know it, mother. Hey, you get those reports done? Yeah. No. You, sir. Attention, employees.
The staff meeting, scheduled for this evening, will now be held tomorrow early as
That is all. Dudes, we're only 75 cents short. Oh, shh. The boss. Hey, sir, go yourself. You're fired! Yeah! Oh, I still get beer.
And welcome back to Blow the Whistle here in our studio. I keep wanting to say on Sports Town Chicago, but that's the radio side.
You're so used to the radio stuff.
I'm so used to that, man. But you guys all know what it is. It is time for the greatest segment of them all, You're Killing Me Smalls, where we're just going to rant and rave. And yesterday, if you tuned into our radio stream, we did all about the Will Smith one. But we got our own individual ones today. And Andrew just found himself a new one. And I'm going to go to Andrew first. Andrew, what has made you say You're Killing Me Smalls?
So this is another thing sent to me by a friend of mine named JoJo. Blame her. She, as my friends love to do, they always send me stupid stuff. So if you guys want to look for a wonderful book, I didn't know this is apparently a giant thing. If you are a fan of romance novels, folks, be prepared for this. I'm going to try to read it as quick as I possibly can. It's called Surrendering to Her Mate, a Shapeshifter Paranormal Romance. It's real quick synopsis. It is basically a story about a bunny shifter named Clover Fraser who...
Wait, what's a bunny shifter?
Apparently a person that shifts into a bunny rabbit. She is on the run for her life, trying to sort her life out. Apparently, she falls in love with a man named Richard. Richard, by the way, is a man who can turn himself into a panther. And they strike up a love with one another as they transform into animals. Now, you'd think this is weird, right? And it's just a one-off. This is a series, folks. This is a series called My Wicked Mates Books. I'm not joking. You can find these on Amazon. If you want to read them, you can. I don't know why my friend JoJo sent them to me. I don't know if she thought I would like this or whatnot. I'm assuming she just sent this because she thought it was going to be a stupid thing. All books in my Wicked Mates series can be read standalone. This is by Ezra Erzabet Bishop is the name of the author. If you want to find her My Wicked Mates books, there is a ton of these. My boyfriend transforms into an animal thing with like a bear and a panther and a lion. Like, it is weird as hell. I will post it up for anybody who wants to see it.
We need to see this.
I got to post a bunch of the stuff that I've been sent with all this, like the animal facts things, all that. I will post all that up as soon as I can. But this is weird. So to the strangers that think that this is romance novel stuff, and apparently there's another one out there that is even weirder than this, and I can't wait to see what that is. But to the weird romance novel writers that are out there that are writing stuff about people transforming into animals, I say to you all...
You're killing me, Smalls!
I just have a few questions real quick.
Okay.
One, is this the same friend that's been giving you other You're Killing Me Smalls ideas?
It's been two of them, yes. My friend Bobby is one who sent me the quick animal facts. She's the one that sent me all this other stuff that's been kind of coming in. So
can we get them on our show, please?
I'm trying to. She lives in Paris right now.
Okay.
3 hours away. So
okay.
I'm trying to get her to come up here to do a show at some point because I'm like, stop sending me this weird crap and just come on here to talk about it.
Where she's finding this is absolutely fantastic.
She gets so bored at work, and she's like, apparently somebody offered it up as a book for her to read. I don't understand that. Why? Who offers this as a book to read at work?
Well,
what the hell?
First off, this sounds like a Goodwill version of Twilight.
Yes, exactly. This is so weird.
Just more animals, but I mean, people like Twilight for some reason. I mean,
so
people
weird.
might like this.
What's wrong with you?
This is great.
I mean, we were just in the back here talking about furries, and then that triggered this. I mean, geez, that's a conversation for another one, folks.
Oh my God, that is.
You want to go next?
I'll go next.
Okay.
I just came across this, and this is to good old Robert Kraft. Robert Kraft spoke out and says that he's talking about the pain of going 3 years without a playoff win. A pain.
He is a pain.
What? You are a pain, mister. You are that saddened that your Patriots has gone 3 years, just three little years.
Whoop-de-doo.
We've been in COVID for almost 3 years, and you're sad and upset about that. You guys haven't gotten to a playoff win, dude. You have six Super Bowl rings. That is I think that's the most, or he ties the most out of any team.
I believe so.
In the NFL.
Yeah.
Come on, man. It's not always going to be the Patriots every year, okay? You lost Tom Brady. Okay, that stinks. Now it's time to rebuild. You got yourself a quarterback, Mac Jones. Solid rookie season, okay? Really stood out to both me and Andrew because we had no faith in this kid whatsoever.
I sure as hell did. Everybody can attest to that. You know,
but you are upset that you know what? I mean, if you're so upset about this 3 years of not having a playoff win, maybe you shouldn't have gotten a little handsy with your masseuse, my friend. I mean, I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there. I mean, why are you going to get
for that?
You're going to get upset about your Patriots not having a playoff win in 3 years. Oh, calm down, okay? Wait until Mac Jones produces. Okay, Mr. Kraft, Mr. Touchy-Wutchy, I give you a big old...
You're killing me, Smalls.
David's back again. David?
I think there's a "You're killing me, Smalls" that's coming from somebody in the back. I don't know if it's David or not, but...
Oh, I've got one, and I'm sure M's got one, too, after the conversation we just had.
Uh-oh.
My "You're killing me, Smalls" goes out to all those stupid hillbilly country fans out there that are throwing temper tantrums because Eric Church canceled his concert to go and watch the North Carolina Duke game. For those people who want to whine and complain, like you're not going to get rescheduled, like you're not going to get your money back for your tickets, quit your whining, quit your complaining. To those people, I give you a big old...
Killing me, Smalls.
Hey, Em, do you have one? You're not going to complain about how long this show is and, you know, certain situations that need to get taken care of?
We do have somewhere to be, Tyler.
Yeah, we are. We are limited. We're running low on time here.
I was going to say.
TJ, do you have one? You have one, right? All right. We're going to do this last.
Yeah, this one's real quick, hopefully.
No worries.
Okay. So, thanks to the NFL, Major League Baseball got to sit and kind of just have their winter meetings and got to have all their other crap to go through and take the headlines. Then they had the strike, the lockout, whatever you want to call it. And they said, we're going to make rule changes. Well, all of a sudden, they start going to extra innings, and there's a guy on second base. They never changed it. You have this clown crap out there of a runner on second base that you said, oh, we're going to get rid of that. It was a bad idea. And then all of a sudden, there's a man sitting on second. Oh, we thought about doing it. Yeah, well, you know what? Then I thought about changing the channel too. And guess what? I did. So for that, MLB Baseball, I say to you...
You're killing me, Smalls.
Well said, TJ.
Well said, my friend.
Well said.
All right. Well, as you know, we are limited on time. So
he's getting yelled at from the back.
That is going to do it for You're Killing Me, Smalls, and that's going to do it for us, Blow the Whistle. We thank you guys all for listening and watching to us here. Andrew, where can they find... Thank you, by the way, Andrew, for coming on and being up here. I'm even getting yelled by Sammy to wrap it up.
Right?
Real quick, where can they find you?
You guys can find me at The Fluffy Guru on Twitter. You can also find me at Boom Crew Captain on Instagram as well. Make sure to check us out at X-Bomb Sports soon in like an hour and a half or so here at 5:30. We're going live here on this YouTube channel, so make sure to check us out there. Also on Thursday, 5:30 as well. We'll be going live there. Also, too, you can find me on the radio side as well, so make sure to go check me out there. Okay, Tyler, go.
As for me, you can find me at Ty_Butterball at 45 at Instagram. You can find me at Tyler Beaterball on Facebook and Twitter. You can also find me on Mondays from 2 to 4 with this my friend over here and David Dykstra. Sorry, I'm trying to talk really fast. On Blow the Whistle Radio on SportsTownChicago.com. You can find our recordings of our show on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, everything in the world. And I can't forget my boy, our TP over there, TJ the TP. TJ, where can they find you, my friend?
You can find me in the back here on X-Bomb and for Blow the Whistle and on Instagram and NEC300.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and there's more people to think about, but we are really low on time. And so we thank you all, the usuals that we always thank, and we thank all of our listeners again for listening and watching. We will be here, same bad time, same bad faces, here on Blow the Whistle.